Hi, my name is Dylan Chapman, and today I'm going to be showing off the level I have made in Doom, the 2016 release, in their snapmap. So, with the editor, I wanted to make a more story-driven level that leads the player through a facility that had been overrun by demons as you were researching the Argent energy from the UAC. One of the more bigger issues I ran into right away was originally there was this giant staircase the player was supposed to descend down upon into the facility. But as it turns out, every time I would go to test the level, it would crash. Just straight up crash. No idea why it would freeze up, couldn't alter for it. And everything I found online was talking about that one set piece, the giant staircase, was causing that. I have no idea why, but that's what everyone was telling me, so I deleted it and took that piece out. So now it's just you're in a small staircase going down. You start off, there's a button, but you come down the stairs, and the door is locked, warning the player of the doom that would be ahead that they have to face. Yeah, button that opens up.
Welcome. I'm Dr. Samuel Hayden. I'm the head of this facility. I think we can work together and resolve this problem in a way that benefits us both.
Now, actually, I'm going to turn this down a little bit. So one of the things with Doom that I've always seen and I've always thought was really cool was that a lot of the secrets they'll hide in plain sight or just places that the player is going to go anyways. So like this one, the player's paying attention and it's timed, you'll be able to see, oh my god, there's actually an armor beast down there. And they might not be able, they might see, it's like, oh, I can jump down and, ah, cool, I got some armor. Just a quick little hidden one, because in this first room, there are the flaming skulls. That hurt a decent amount. I really wanted to start off with those flaming skulls because they're not really the worst enemy, especially if you notice them. It does sort of teach a player that, hey, there's going to be stuff around. Also up in this corner, I gave the player some extra shields in case they missed the first one, and a chainsaw. And the nice thing though is if the player got that one and those two shields, it adds up to 100, so you actually max. Also, there is this enemy, which is set to not chase the player until they hear or see them, but they'll stay over here waiting. And you actually can't kill this thing without using execution.
Your affinity for guns is apparent. I'm confident you'll find something useful there as well.
See, players could easily walk past this and just move on with the level down the hallway, or if they explore and find this, then they're treated to a room that has what appears to be a horde nest and a crate that you cannot open. The crate is locked so that the crate will unlock once the player has defeated the gore nest, and at the same time, based on if you're paying attention to the clues that Samuel Hayden is talking to you, there's weapons. If you search around the room, there appears to be no weapons for you to find. It is a wave event, so you have to just kill all 3 waves of enemies that increase in difficulty as you go. Don't want to get too close to that one. There's no weapons. Samuel Hayden's a good man. He wouldn't lie to me about there being weapons in this room, now would he? That is one of my favorite executions for those guys. So one of the nice things with Doom is that when you're building out like the gore nest or like the monster situations, I can do custom events where I can pick specifically what demons there are, or I can tell it to randomly pick Sorry, these things are... where you can tell it specifically what demons you want it to spawn, or you can just let it go based on a set difficulty meter that will enhance as the waves goes. So for like this room, it starts out at a level 2 difficulty, and then each wave it would increase, so it would go to 3 and then to 4. So for here you get 3 choices of guns. You get a combat shotgun with the explosive shot mod, which you can take to replace your current one. You cannot hold both. The player is also given 4 weapon slots total. Then you have the super shotgun, and you have the assault rifle. See, the nice thing is if you missed the chainsaw, you can pick up all 3 of the guns in here to have a max capacity of 4. Me, I don't really like the way the heavy assault rifle plays, so I normally don't pick it up because I would rather have the chainsaw so I could get more ammo. The other 2 weapons give a different variety of play based on the way they are, so that the player can decide what they want to end up using. Now in this room, there's sort of a quote-unquote secret that any player might be able to miss, because if you don't notice that the skull was up on that platform, you can just walk on through and keep going with your life. But if you notice it, kill it. Ah shit, this thing spawns. Anybody who knows what this is, it's the regeneration power. It'll regen your health and shields up to a maximum of 100 for, I think it lasts 40 seconds. I cannot choose how long it lasts, I just have to go along with it. But when you spawn the power up, when you pick up the power up, it then proceeds to spawn enemies in the room for you to decimate. While the enemies are there, this door that moves on to the next place becomes locked. If you opened it beforehand, it locks itself. The door behind you will never really lock, so you can always run away if you need to and regroup yourself. Because once the door opens, it will not shut unless another event like that locks the door. If you come down here, oh shit, there's an enemy. Why was he in this corner? Ah shit, there's a surprise. Oh, it's Argent Energy. Normally this is used to upgrade myself for maximum ammo capacity, max health, max armor. And this actually, using it right now I won't be able to show you at all, but what that actually does for the player is it refills all their ammo, it gives them a grenade that they can now use indefinitely because it recharges, and it will max out your armor. Mainly because of this next room that the player has. Well, the player can come in here, and they go to proceed, and it's like, oh, wait. Shit, I can't. Something moved. I wonder what it may be. Hey, there's a single enemy. I wonder why. Ah. Ah, shit, there's people. And so now this room is locked. It's technically in a lockdown state, as you can tell by these doors, where I cannot go outside of them, but you can enter. So if you somehow manage to, I don't know, die and respawn out there, which you shouldn't because there should be a respawn point set up right here for you. If you spawn back out there, you can come in, and the door isn't actually locked, so you're stuck outside. That was an issue I was experiencing earlier in my endeavors. Oh, the door's open. Thank you, facility voice. Can move on, and it's like, ooh, something that's glowing red. Let's find. I need the red power cell. It's a place to put the red power cell. Ew, something died. Hello. Door. Which is locked. So to access the door, you have to activate this interaction, and it spawns. Oh enemies! There's another Spectre, because personally I like the Spectre enemies. I think they're neat and different. So I like to put them into my level when I was building it. Some of them I chose, some of them are just actually put out. So the way this room works is different. I didn't set it up to be a wave event because I wanted to test out something different and see the capabilities of what I could do with some of the quote-unquote programming I can do.
Entry granted.
So I set it up to be a counter. The way it works is whenever an enemy dies, it ticks the counter up. When the counter hits max, which is 5 for each of the enemies in the room, it unlocks the door. And over here we move on to this bigger room that we have. And a gore nest. Yay, gore nest. Everyone loves gore nest. Oh, there's a button. Locked boxes. What's in the box? Unlocking the boxes. So scattered around the room, there are 3 boxes for the player to discover that can give them health, armor, and more ammunition. And the boxes are not able to be used until that button is pushed. You don't need the boxes, but in case somebody does, find it. Oh, and there's armor here too, which I'm not going to pick up because it would put me over 100 and would be a waste. This was the first real wave event that I had set up. I have since made it a little bit harder because at first it felt way too easy for the player. But yeah, there's a lot of people. This is one of the ones that is set up to be just a set difficulty where I did not choose what enemies are actually in it, but it just picked them itself. Which is really cool, but one of the issues I came about was I realized that putting demons actually into the world itself consumes a lot of the space that you have for like the maximum number of demons, and doing so will make it so that if I have like these wave events or whatever, if I have too many demons that are currently inhabiting the world itself, like on top of the ones I'm trying to spawn, it won't spawn all the ones that I want it to. It'll only spawn like one at a time, which can get really annoying. So I had to either decide on going mostly wave events or doing set demons in the world. But if I was to do it that way, I wouldn't be able to do as many. So instead I decided to keep going with the wave events. Because personally, with the wave events, it felt like I could do more demons overall and get more out of all the demons that I could use. So I decided to stick with doing the events that spawn the demons into the world, because they don't count against the actual limit. Which was nice, because then I can just put more in. Give the player a chainsaw so they have something to retrieve ammo with. I'm gonna try not to die here. I'm still not the best player at Doom, so things like these hurt just a little bit. Ah, I might be able to get that quest completed. Where are you? There's like one more. There you are. Oh, did I use that one? I did. I think I used that one already. Yep. So I'll grab the armor. Because you never know. Hey look, there's a flaming skull over there. Let's kill it. Oh god, there, he had friends. He did. There's a mega health. He's not having a good time. And my red power cell, which I can now bring over to that other door. Sort of sucks though, because I'm at 3 chainsaw out of 6. Oh, would you look at that? There's more. Which puts me back up to max. Sorry about that, I don't know if you could hear it, but my phone started to ring. Okay. And now I can go on to the next section. which
Welcome to hell.
is hell. Hell, we have a shorter section of the level because most of the level is supposed to show off the facility that you're in. And oh my god, what is that? But a rocket launcher. Who doesn't love a rocket launcher? Rocket launchers are great. The one issue with the rocket launcher is it's the same item wheel slot as the chainsaw, which I have no way of changing. It is just a game thing. I can still get to my chainsaw by scrolling, but through the weapon wheel, as far as I'm aware, I cannot. Here we have music change, a buff, just for a quick little semi-difficult. I don't want to call it super difficult. Just a semi-difficult. And I don't even really want to call it difficult. It's not. It's not really difficult. See, like that door is in lockdown mode 2, so I can't go through it. But I can come back in if I need to. He was stuck in the floor. That's weird. I haven't seen that happen before. And I can tell that the room still isn't over because it has not told me. There we go. Also in this back area, there's armor. Because who doesn't love armor? Everyone loves a good piece of armor for them. Now we have the big room. This set piece I mainly wanted to find a way of using because I liked the way it looked. It has technically 3 door locations I can use. That can be a door, but I decided against it, so I used that one. Which, oh, the drone lord. The fuck's the drone lord? Well, I mean, there doesn't seem to be anything. What's that? That looks like a drone. Aren't you one of those drones that gives me weapon mods? Yeah, sure, let's take that weapon mod. Oh. Well, I guess that drone was taken over by a demonic presence because it didn't like that every time I take the thing from it, I punch the shit out of it. That's a bug, I have no idea what it is, but he doesn't do anything, he just gets stuck at that location. So, for this final fight, I wanted to make a difficult one. I'm one where I like having harder fights, even if it... Not necessarily hard, I just like the fact with Doom that I can go around and murder a lot of shit. Doom is one of those games where it's like, if I'm ever in a bad mood, I'm angry, I have nothing to do about it though, I just would come in here and I can just shoot a bunch of things. Because it doesn't matter, it's a fictional place. So I made a boss fight that is a 3-minute survival, where it's just lots of chaos. This, I think, starts off on difficulty 6, and then enhances its difficulty every 30 seconds, I want to say. Up to a maximum of 10. You can still die, but you still will get regeneration. I wanted to make this a boss fight that lasted longer, but over time you're given all these power-ups and it's just spamming you with power-ups, so like you'll have all the power-ups by the end of it. And then I found out with the snap map, you can only have 1 power-up active at a time. So I couldn't do that. I wanted to have it where the player is just going up against like 300% health enemies that have enhanced damage, but you have like regeneration, haste, and what's quad damage? That's the last one I was forgetting. So the player can very easily die in this level still because there is holes that the player can fall down and die, and just because there is the periods where you don't have the regen, where enemies can very easily kill you. So when it says that, it means that the event is technically over and no more enemies will spawn, but the enemies that are currently in the level will still be in the level. It also turns off the timer for your regeneration, so that is over, so you're just left with whatever you have. I know there you are. I don't understand what is happening with the enemies that are just stopping and like don't actually come to me. I don't think that's actually something I can change without changing the actual whole set piece, but I think it might be a piece of the set piece because since all the floors have cracks and everything, it's making their AI pathing weird and not work correctly. The other thing with this is it is set up so that in case the player is to die and it doesn't finish, you can just come over here and reuse this and it will activate everything back again. So you can just do it again. Like I could start it up and do it again even if I wanted to, but currently I will not do that so I can get through the rest of the level. And over here, you find the button that you don't touch the keyboard when you press. So you activate the button, you don't touch anything else, and we're closing the portal to hell. So we gotta get out.
You've won. It's over. You stopped the invasion and closed the portal. But it's come at a price. Argent, Vega, this entire operation. You see, I've watched your work. Come to understand your motivation.
And that is my level. Thank you. And have a wonderful day.